I don't know if you're like this or if you know anybody like this, but when I was at St. Pat's in Pottsville, I lived with a priest, Father John Little, who, I got along with, sometimes a little eccentric, but, a good guy, especially when you get to know him. Sometimes he's often misunderstood, but anyways, whenever I go out to dinner, his big thing was always that the food had to be hot, Now, maybe you're like that. You're at the restaurant and it comes out cold, you send it back. We as people, as Eden, we like to have our cold foods, our cold food and our cold drinks cold. And if the food's supposed to be hot, we want it hot. And so I kind of just thought of that image when I heard the second address, in the book of Revelation. So this is the section in Revelation where God is speaking to these 7 churches in Asia Minor, which is in modern day Turkey. 2 of the churches, Sardis and Laodicea, those 2 churches, the Lord is kind of addressing them and he's kind of giving them a warning. So if I remember correctly, of the 7 churches, 3 of the churches have warnings and the other 4 churches have more words of praise. So our first reading this morning is kind of broken up. So it's verses 1 to 6 and then 14 to 22. So that the church are bringing both churches that have the warnings, putting them together for our first reading, just in case you were wondering. But it's the one to Laodicea that really caught my attention. He says that, I know that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either cold or hot, but you're lukewarm, neither hot nor cold. I will spit you out of my mouth. And that's where I got that food imagery from. Here our Lord's given us an image that they're not cold, they're not hot, they're lukewarm. And I'll spit you out of my mouth. I'll send the plate back to the chef. Warm it up. Warm it up. And with that, it kind of reminds me of us. People in America, people in Ashland or Frackville or whatever, because it goes on to say, for you say I am rich and affluent and I have no need of anything. And I think that's probably the biggest plague, that we as Americans who, for the most part, many of us are living comfortably. We don't have to struggle for food. We can get clothes. We have proper housing. Not every American has it, obviously, but I think most of us do. And a lot of other people do. And so because of that, they're lukewarm, that you feel they don't need God for anything. They feel they don't need him. And if you feel they don't need God for anything, then why come and worship? Why pray? Why have devotion to him? We have everything that we need. And I think that's what's plaguing us. So if this year 2020 and this COVID-19, whatever, has taught us anything, and maybe we can get some hope from this, is the fact that people are coming to realize that they're not in control of their life as much as they are, as much as they think they are. We're out there, we're worried. We're worried about getting sick. We're worried about our loved ones. And we seem to have no control of it, no matter how prudent we are and we wear masks and social distance and all that other stuff. It doesn't seem to work. There's always that element of danger. And so because of that, what happens now, we turn to God. We start to heat up. And out of fear and out of scare, what do people do? They're turning to God. Because we're not in control of our lives as much as we think we are. And that's the invitation. So at the end, there's always kind of like an address to the people, an image of God. And he says, behold, I stand and knock at the door. So, so many people lukewarm, not needing God for anything. What God's doing, he's knocking at their door. Let me in. Let me in. He wants to come in. He wants to come in. And as it says, come in and dine and eat with me. Your cold foods will be cold and your hot foods will be hot. Let him in. Let him in. Let him know and realize that, he is the Lord of the dead and the living. He, offer our needs and our wants and our fears, to give it over to him. He wants it. He wants to come in. He wants to eat with us. And so sometimes that's created when there's a sense of urgency. So let's heat up. Let's get our vigor. Let's get our dedication back to God and know that we need him for everything, especially now, right here in 2020. May God bless you.